Hi, guys. My name is Steve B. Great to be with you today on this beautiful Friday down in the park. I want to talk to you today about staying sober for today. Yeah, it's October 25th. It's a little cool down here, but comfortable, comfortable. I took off my overshirt, my pullover shirt, and it was a little cold, so I want to put that sucker back on. I'd rather be comfortable than not comfortable. Well, good to be with you guys today, talking about not staying sober for today. I wanted to talk about there's a little phrase uh, that I learned, in recovery. And the first time I heard it, was like, what the heck does that mean? But the phrase is nothing changes if nothing changes. And it was like the first time I heard that, it was like, what? That doesn't make sense. And yet now I know, I look at it like it's one of the most profound things that I've ever heard in my life. And it's so true. If nothing changes, nothing changes. That means changes is the thing that we're all striving for when we come into recovery. I got to change from the idiot I was. I was talking with somebody this morning, and I was telling them, I said, I when I was a teenager, I was a punk, and I was a punk, a no good punk. I thought, if things didn't have to do with me, I didn't want nothing to do with them. And I even told him, I said, and he laughed. I said, if I were to meet my teenage self now, I would hate him. I wouldn't like him. I'd be like, what a punk. But thank God that like uh, change is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Change doesn't have to be bad. It could be change for the good. I used to be terrified of that word change. I go to one meeting where right at the table, there's a, a plaque, and it says change on it. Change is super important. We gotta change. I gotta change. I'll keep it on me. I gotta change from the idiot I was into the person not only I want to be, but that God wants me to be. More importantly, because the person I want to be maybe won't be good for me. I don't know. You know, um, I've uh, I've changed a lot in the last 32 years. I'm not the same person I was when I walked into recovery. The same person I was when I walked into recovery is was kind of a confused, not too bright, old person. I think I looked older then, 32 years ago, than I do now. And that's only by the grace of God. Any good thing I have right now is God, not me. God gave it to me. God gave it to me, and He continues giving to me. I must say that my life it's an interesting journey, and I wouldn't trade my life with anybody in the world. God has been very good to me, and I'm living the life that I couldn't have imagined 32 years ago. You know, and when I went to I mean, if I were able, and I know you're not able to go back and change things, but I would have done it so different. I had opportunities back when I was a kid, and I didn't take them. I took the safer, the easier, what do they call it? The easier, softer way. The way that wasn't gonna, wasn't gonna hurt you, but it was gonna be easy for you because it wasn't gonna take a lot of effort. And sometimes the greatest things in the world that we have today are things that we try. We take a chance sometimes. Take a chance. And failure. Uh, I've been learning, and I believe today, it's one of my beliefs, is that failure is part of success. Look at Thomas Edison. You know, he tried a million times to get the light bulb, and it was maybe that millionth time that did it. That's a lot of failures. So that was actually part of his success. Elon Musk says, yeah, failure is part of success. You know, you don't always get it right. Sometimes you get it wrong, but getting it wrong, are you learning from it? Because if you learn from it, then it wasn't a mistake. Change. I had no idea when I came into recovery what I was in for. And I'll tell you what, I think I've changed immensely. And some of it was dark, dark, dark. For instance, when I got my divorce from Denise, that was the darkest time of my life. And I thought God abandoned me, left me alone. I had no idea that He was going to rebuild me and make me better. And I'm glad He did. I'm glad He did because I- it's made my life a fantastic journey. I wouldn't trade my life with anybody in the world for anything. Um, happy happy to be with you guys today and talk about staying sober for today and change. Don't be afraid of change. I was terrified of change. I remember being, like when I was in grade school, like the last day of summer, being up in my room, feeling so freaking lonely and scared. And it's like, and all these terrifying thoughts will come into my head. And I was like, whoa, I don't like this. I don't like this. But change is necessary, you know. I I had a scare a couple of weeks ago. I was like, well, this day it looks like this park meeting is going to end. It seemed like. I mean, nobody was coming. I was down here by myself. I was thinking, okay, maybe uh, this is all she wrote for this park meeting, but it hasn't been. It isn't, and change. The weather changes. And that's kind of like what it's all about. If the weather stayed nice, man, it would never. We'd be down here all year. But there comes a time when people like have had enough and they want to go inside. They want to keep warm. They want their nice cup of coffee at a meeting, and we don't have those things here. But my thing is like I'm saying, we're going to the end of November. Throw an extra coat in the back of your car. That's my way of dealing with it. I got clothes in the back of my car that if I get cold, I just throw something on. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Sometimes I don't though, like when it's windy and the wind is blowing or the rain is pouring and being cold on top of that is not a good combination. But I'll tell you what, man, my alcoholism, I do anything. I do anything. You know, uh, they used to say when I first came in, you got to be willing to do anything, any amount. You be willing to do whatever it takes to stay sober. And God has really made it not hard for me. You know, they say, what do they say? It's harder to get sober than it is to stay sober. It's not so hard, really. But I got to do certain things. I got to do certain things. I got to make sure I stay in touch with people that are also recovering people. I got to go to meetings, which I do daily, in love. Always. Well, I can't say I always love meetings, but most of the time, I really love going to meetings. And that's an adventure in itself. With the different personalities and the different structures of the meetings, and the whole thing is getting out of yourself. I get out of my own head. I go down to my car. I drive to the meeting. Hopefully pray before it and pray after it, and sometimes even during it. but it's an adventure. And oh my goodness, a lot of people, they retire and they got nothing to do. It's like, I hate this. I love this. And I thank God every day that I was able to do this. There was a time when I used to think at work, and work was it was like, I got to do this for another 20 years. Give me a break. But I'll tell you what, God saw fit to let me reach the right age to retire, and I did. And here I am, and that was a while ago. And I love it. I love it. I'm doing a thing that I love. I love recovery. I love coming to you guys. I love meeting new people. And there was a time when I hated meeting new people. It was like, nah, I don't want that. Today I do want that. And there, you're cheating yourself if you don't want that. You're cheating yourself. But I could honestly say that, the people I've met on this journey, on this wonderful journey, are it's like I couldn't script something better than this. It's like the movie of my life. You know, I'm nobody. I'm just another person. But I'll tell you what, you get enough just another persons around you, and and that adds up. It adds up. I'm glad. I made some of the choices I made. I wasn't happy with, like when I was drinking, when I was, in the heat of it as a teenager. I was like, all right, now make choices. Make some choices to. Going to go to school, going to study something, and I never chose to do those things. I never chose to do those things. I wanted to drink more than I wanted to stay sober. And if somebody does that today, if somebody drinks today who's even had recovery or whatever, but threw it away, it's because they wanted to drink more and they wanted to stay sober. And goodness gracious, this is the best life I ever could have imagined. God has been so good to me, and He continues to be good to me. Um, you know, and part of it, a big part of it, is service. Service is fantastic. Service and recovery is what makes it work, and it works for the person that's doing the serving as much as it's doing something for the person that's being served. But but change, without change we don't grow. Without change we don't grow. And this past couple of weeks, it's been like, it's been the time for the foliage to time for the foliage to show how beautiful nature can be. And it's just a fantastic, wonderful time of year, for the foliage, for the weather. The weather has been outstanding. I love it when it gets a little chilly. Not so much, but a little bit chilly. And I found out and got out of my car, and I walked to the bathroom, and I had my under the shirt. Well, it's a long sleeve shirt underneath the pullover, and I got out, and I said, no, 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 no. When I come out here to do the video, I'm gonna throw on the pullover because it's a little chilly, and a lot of that is wishful thinking. It's not, the wishful thinking part, meaning that it's nice. I'm gonna be fine. But it does get chilly, and I kind of enjoy putting on extra clothes to warm up. I got them, might as well use them. God's been good to me and given me plenty of clothes. You know, I'm happy to be with you guys today. The simple things that make me happy today. The sky, there's not a cloud in the sky. It's just gorgeous. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And yes, so we're gonna stay sober today, guys, and I'm gonna be your encourager. I'm gonna tell you, don't drink today. We'll do it together because I don't plan on drinking today. If you're not drinking, you say, well, he ain't drinking either. If he could do it, I could do it. It's a one day at a time thing. So just for today, don't drink, don't drug. Man, you can do it. You can do it. And I'm gonna do it with you. Um, you know it, and then like I'm gonna go. Well, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do what I usually do. I did my 3 miles today. I'm gonna go home after this. I gotta wash my car because down here they were blowing leaves, and I by the time I got back to my car, it was covered with I don't know, pollen or something. But that's okay. That's what the car wash is for. That's what it's for. So on the way home, I'm gonna get a car wash. And anyway, love you guys. Give me a like and subscribe. God bless you.